wherever or whenever. It's Big Victories.
You could bet it all on me. Anything that I do it B-I-G. Shot callers, so they call on me. If my dogs don't eat, then they fall on me. It's the ice on the wrist for me. I'm living life like it's meant to be. Lived everyday shit, everything big. Big crib, big bands, nigga, it's a big victory.
I'm glad I have all my friends on here on the Big Victory Podcast. First, I'm introduce Mr. Randall. Some say he has thrill, but I call him Randall. No thrill, Hill. Randall, how you doing today, man?
What's going on, Webster Stump Double? You've been at a job for a while. Everybody don't know that you Webster Stump Double.
So you start this crap like this, man. What's up with this guy, man?
Yo, he's starting off strong. I love it.
Wow. Hey, yo, what you think about this guy, man? Ever see because when he played, we was kids. You know what I mean? Now he's just still talking crap.
Nah, that's how it is. That's what happens when you know what I'm saying, when you grow up with somebody, you still treat it like how it is back in the days. You never change up. You never switch up, That's when you know you have a true friendship, you know what I'm saying?
True, man. I'll be honest with you, man. I know Randall for a while and I know his whole family. And Randall mimic his mom. His dad is the nice guy. His mom will curse you out. You hear me? Matt, when I'm telling you curse you out, bro, the lady's nicest lady. She's the nicest lady. But my God.
Yeah, she still curses me out. That's how I know she's doing okay. People always ask me, hey, how your mom doing? I said, hold on a second, let me find out. I go over there and say something that's going to set her off. And then as soon as she cusses me out, then I call the people back and say, yeah, she's fine.
Randall, I have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
Through all the journey you've been through in life, man, tell people exactly what you do. Then I have a follow-up question where you start off and sorry-ass Killian and all that stuff. Get into it. So go ahead and let people know who you really are.
My background is born and raised here in South Florida. I attended Miami Killian Senior High School. From there, and actually, believe it or not, a lot of people do not know, I was an All-American defensive back. And I never played wide receiver before until I got to the University of Miami. I was recruited by every major D1 school in the country because I had 11 interceptions my junior year. So I decided to go to the University of Miami, and I got moved over to wide receiver. I learned the position. I learned what it took to be a wide receiver, especially on that level. And I just took it to the next level. And I was able to go in the first round in the NFL's annual draft, the 23rd pick of the first round. I played 7 years in the NFL, but I try to stress to young adults, to more leaders, that I was wild and crazy on the field, but football is not life. Sports is not life. Sports gives you a lot of discipline. You can create some and find some close friends because you have one common goal together. But education is paramount to me. My mom told me years ago, don't bring any dumb women to this house. I'm like, okay. So yeah, my wife is fine, but she's also a board certified internal medicine doctor. So yeah, again, you can be crazy and have fun on the field, but you know what? Go to school, get an education, stay out of trouble, listen to your parents. And I'm not just saying that because I still do. I'm 52 years old, never had to take alcohol before in my life, stayed away from illegal drugs. And currently right now, I'm actually a federal agent, doing a lot of crazy things. Can't really talk much about that on this particular platform because they won't let me. But in 3 years, I'll be able to retire again. So I can collect on 2 retirements, one from the NFL, one from the federal government, 2 401ks, one from the NFL, one from the federal government, and Social Security. So have fun, do things the right way, listen to your parents. No, you can't move in. You stay where you are. Because, you're going to eat me out of house or home because every time you come over to eat, you always eat all my food. So, and
you on a podcast, you telling my business like that, man. You on a podcast telling my business.
Next time you come over, I'm training my dog to pee on your leg.
Your dog is a mutt. Please.
How about that?
Your dog got 3 legs. But anyway, listen, I have a funny story about your family. I met your family before I even knew you. Would you like to tell them that story about your uncle?
Sure did. No, you could tell them how you was a scumbag in high school.
Listen,
you a scumbag. You guys still a scumbag. But I deal with you because I can and I have to.
God. We don't want to hear that part of the story.
You
anyway,
just admit it.
Man, listen.
Admit it. You got kicked out of school. My uncle is was the former assistant superintendent with Miami-Dade County Public Schools, and my dad was a principal at an alternative school, MacArthur South. So whenever you screwed up a regular school, you got sent to my dad's school. So I'm gonna let you take it from there, Vic.
Listen, I made a mistake, and I don't know what mistake was. I can't remember. And all I know, I walk in the office. This gentleman told me I'm going to be located 5 days to another school. I didn't know there was a Ponzi scheme. Randall's dad is actually the principal of the MacArthur, and his Randall's uncle was the principal. Was the superintendent of Miami-Dade County. So they schemed up on me and got me in trouble. I had nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? Good guy. Mav, you know how they be trying to get me, Mav.
I'm about to say, but they low-key did you a favor though.
They kind of.
This dude's he's a scumbag. He didn't know how to act in school. I mean, I think he's half of a decent citizen now. And they kicked him out of school, and they sent my uncle set him up, sent him to my dad's school. But you know what? My dad's proud of Victor. We joke around. He always asks me about Victor. Hey, how's Victor doing? Is he doing okay? Because my dad like to see kids that have made mistakes go into a school and then have done well by themselves, or in their lives and their career. And Victor's done it. That's the only good thing I will say about Victor, because it'll go to his head, and his head is already big, and kind of like his body. That's why he's well sustained.
All right, man, we're not trying to get you to be Dave Chappelle here, okay? I have a question for you. What would you consider this point of your life is your biggest victory in life right now, Randall? What is something that is memorable that you can tell us guys, AO, Mav on the phone, and Mike looking on board? What is the biggest victory for you thus far?
Besides my parents, and I don't want to sound cliche-ish, but besides my parents, I gotta say my wife. We've been together 35 years, 34 years, and she keeps me grounded. And she shows me that, because let's keep it real. I'm not from the inner city.
No, you're not.
I didn't have any hard times. I had everything I always needed. My parents gave me everything I needed to be successful, and I was. But my wife, total opposite. She didn't have everything, and for her to become, actually, her name was engraved on the walls of University of Miami before mine was, and that's because of chemistry. That's because of her brain. That's because of math. And you talking about Phi Beta Kappa chemistry? That's hard to do. And when I see that she can go through struggles and be successful, that means that anybody can. And so, and for her to put up with me and my nonsense and my bullshit, so I think that's my biggest victory. My wife, and the close friends that I joke around with Victor, but I know he always got my back. I could talk bad about him. I could talk about Victor's mom, but Victor know he got my back. So, and I got his back. So, my wife would be my biggest victory.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. That's very good, man. You know what? I know these guys. You have anything you want to ask Randall, man, or Mav, anybody? Because I'm done with it. I'm done with them.
I actually had a question, Mr. Hill. I just wanted to know, how important to you was it to be from Miami, right? Play football in Miami, high school football in Miami, then play collegiate football in Miami, and then play on the NFL level, on the pro level in Miami. How important was that to you in your journey?
Listen, it was a blessing. And here, let me tell you a quick story. And you can go back to the periodicals. I originally committed to Florida State. True story. Like, people knew, especially when they came out to visit me, do home visits and stuff. They would look at how I grew up, and they would never, ever, ever offer me money or try to, buy me off. So when I went to go visit Florida State, I landed at the airport and get Bobby Bowden. He comes up, like right there on the tarmac, greets me, telling me to come to Florida State. Behind him was the governor at the time, Bob Graham. Hey, we want you to go to Florida State. Shaking Bob Graham's hand. Follow right behind Bob Graham, Deion Sanders. Prime time. Prime time comes up. Hey, man, we're going to go to Florida State. You come to Florida State? But the one who got me the most was the Bandit. Burt Reynolds. I said, it's the Bandit.
No way.
I'm telling you the true story.
The Bandit.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to Florida State. Now, I decided to go to Florida State, verbally committed to Florida State, told my dad. My dad kind of stayed out of my decision. But he said to me, he says, hey, you need to let your grandparents know where you're going to school. I'm like, okay. So I go to my grandparents' house, and I tell my grandfather, who was very distinct, he was a very distinguished gentleman, him and my grandmother, say, hey, Granddad, I'm going to go to Florida State. He looked at me, and he says, now, son, he called my dad Doc. So he called me Little Doc. He said, Little Doc, let me tell you. He says, you're one of my favorite grandkids. He said, I want to watch you grow up to be a nice young man. Florida State's a good school, but there's a nice school right here. I think you need to stay closer to home so we can watch you grow up to be a good young man. Son, you need to go to the University of Miami. I looked at him in his eyes. Okay, Granddad, I'm going to the University of Miami. But again, we joke around, but I think the young adults nowadays need to understand about that legacy of these people who sat there before you and are trying to show you the way. And you go back, you ask me about how important. None of that would have happened if I didn't listen to my grandparents.
Sir, yes, sir.
Whether I'm going in a federal court, or if I'm traveling, meeting people, those, me being, here in Miami is because of my grandparents. And my mom and dad kind of just sat out of it, and they just stick my grandparents on it. But, it's a blessing. It's not necessarily important, but it's a blessing for me to have stayed here, played here. I've traveled as of late. I've played in different places, but again, to be home next to my mom and my dad is a blessing. To be here with my wife and kids, that's a blessing. And the friends that I have had close to me, that's a blessing. To keep Victor out of my house.
Man, I won't come to your house anyway. Stop mentioning my name in your house.
You play. Hold up. You play for Pittsburgh.
It's the truth.
Huh?
Victor keep me out of house and home, man. I'm telling you, man.
You played for Pittsburgh, though, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I played against Pittsburgh.
No, yeah, but I'm thinking about the other Randall L.
You talking about the Randall L, the quarterback?
No, he's
He
receiver.
receiver.
He's a receiver, yeah, but he played quarterback in college.
They both look alike. They got square heads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's probably what you thought.
At least I got a neck.
Okay, man, time to let you go. Hey, Randall, was appreciate you talking. Now, take you and your suspenders out of here. But I really appreciate it. You give me your time, though. I know you taking care of some business.
Let me know when I can come back, bro. Sorry I was late today. One love, man. I hope you guys have a good time with your interviews and stuff. You guys need to come out to my backyard. You should have done this interview from the Tiki Hut, man.
Yeah, can we do an episode out there?
We definitely can. Just make sure you get the turkeys and the chicken ready, because you know I gotta eat.
Whatever, man.
With that, get out my podcast, man. Well, appreciate you for
later,
man. Man, we don't want to hear that.
Yo.
Yeah. Hey, yo, man, this guy, man, listen, I know this guy for a while. He just drives me nuts. But the thing is, there's only so many good people in this world, and he happened to be one of them.
You're listening to the Big Victories Podcast.
Yeah, greetings. I'm Rohan Marley, and I'm going to be the first guy to really build an organic movement, BAM Effects.
The Big Victories Podcast, hosted by Big Vic, with co-host Mev the Renegade.
Look, every morning that I wake up, say a prayer and thank the maker for the chance to rise and grind another fucking day.
Well, I want to start talking about you, man. The way I met you was weird. Yeah. You know what I mean? I met this guy through another guy, but the other guy I met him, we no longer friends. But this guy stuck around.
It's like that sometimes.
You know what I mean? And Mike can testify that one of them biggest. I want to say this before I get to you, because he's off camera. Mike Molewski. I know you got a weird name. I can't pronounce that. Everybody who knows me know I can't pronounce shit. Mike Molewski has played a major role in this, man. Without him, I wouldn't got this podcast off the air, to be honest with you. He's a very dedicated guy. You know what I mean? He's the only person I know at 4X. So every time I buy him, I'm smaller, so, I keep him around for that too. But, Mike, I'm not trying to get you too big-headed, so I just wanted to shut you out and let you say thank you for everything that you do for us, man.
Shout out Mike, man.
Yeah, for real. Shout out Mike, man.
But, hey, let's get to you, man.
No, we here, man,
Yes, sir.
We here, like, you know what I'm saying? We blessed to see another day, another opportunity, so, all we can do is thank God for it, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I had this question, man, I want to ask you. What inspired you, man? Because, once you reach, you, man, you can answer the question, too. Because y'all guys, y'all up there when it comes to, as far as this industry, the music industry. What inspired you? Is it the artist, the creativity part of things? What makes you want to go in the studio all night and just do that all day?
God, man. That's who I give the glory to. At the end of the day, it's what I live for. It's my purpose in life, man. I do everything for God and because of Him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my reasoning behind waking up. It's my reasoning behind everything. You know what I'm saying? So I just go hard because I know He placed the gift in me, the talent in me to be involved in the music industry, and that's why I give it my all. You know what I'm saying? Like, He leads the way. I just follow.
Man, we all got some story about God, man. God has everybody got us through some stuff.
Yeah.
On my own journey with Him. I know you and A1 share the same industry, man. I step back and let you guys hold a conversation because y'all most likely it's going to be a meaningful conversation.
Yes. Matter of fact, A1 was good. Just wanted to say what's going on. Greetings from Los Angeles. I know it's not as sunny. Well, I know it was raining over there earlier, but yes, the weather's not as beautiful as it over there, but greetings nonetheless. Listen, first thing I just wanted to ask you was, us being in the audio music industry, okay. I wanted to ask you, because schedules are hectic, working around the clock. What do you do to take that time for yourself? Like, how are you able to work that into your schedule, and how important that is to you to take time for yourself and to take time away?
It's extremely important that you devote time to yourself, especially in this hectic industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have a schedule. We don't go in at 8 in the morning and come out at 5, or, you know what I'm saying? It's not a schedule. You're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, when you do have time to yourself, it's important that you cherish it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you whatever you do to restore yourself, because after having a crazy day, you gotta restore yourself. So me, I like to kick back, smoke a blunt, you know what I'm saying, a spliff, you know what I'm saying, smoke a spliff, talk to God, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's just me. It's how I go about restoring myself, like, you know what I'm saying, and just spend time with my family, my wife, my daughters, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's what I do to restore myself, man. I'm a lab rat. I live in the studio. It's what I do,
I tell Mav this all the time. It's good to be humble, but I think as a producer, engineer, you kind of have to speak your career to existence. I want to know, our fans going to want to know, subscription want to know, who are some the people that you have worked with in albums and that they might not have known, but you had your hands in them?
I worked with everybody. It's not an artist. I could that you could say I haven't worked with. Maybe one of the newer artists that are hot now. I probably might not. There's probably a few that I haven't worked with, but that you can think of. If you could think of a name of one of your favorite artists, 9 times out of 10 I worked with them. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't say that to be arrogant or to be cocky. Mm-hmm. I just say, it's just I just put my best effort when I do anything. So, you know, people give me the opportunity to work with the greats, you know what I'm saying? And when I do get the opportunity, I make sure that I don't fumble the ball, you know what I'm saying? And,
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm saying? It's the best that I could do, you know, just do what I love and you know, let God lead the way, like I said in the beginning, you know what I'm saying?
What would you say is one of the better sessions you had? Like you could remember, like you really enjoyed that session when you was done with it.
There's a few. There's a lot of sessions because, you know, every when you work with different artists, there's always a different experience. But you know, it was great working with Jay-Z. It was great working with Nas, with Kanye West, with, you know what I'm saying. This is me working with them personally in the studio. Like, you know, if you would have told me 10, 15 years ago I was gonna work with Jay-Z, I would have been like, huh? Like what? You know, like I would have never, you know. But it was great. It was a great experience, you know. I always take the experience for what it is and, you know, built from that, you know. And it's just, you know, these are great people to work with, great minds, you know, you learn from them. You know, every time I'm in a room with great people like that, I tend to be like a sponge. I absorb the game, I absorb what's going on and learn from it and build from that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, every experience is just a different experience. Even working with Wayne is an incredible person to work with. Khaled himself, you know, everyone I've ever worked with is an incredible experience to work with, and you learn from that experience.
Where you originally from?
Originally, I'm from New York. I was born in St. Luke's Hospital. Lived in like the Bronx for like eight years. I lived in Union City, New Jersey for like 7. Then from there I moved to Miami. So I moved to Miami when I was 15. So, you know, I'm from everywhere. You know, I'm a little bit from New York, a little bit from Jersey, a little bit from Miami. You know,
you like Mav, our co-host. This guy has no place.
Yeah, I'm from everywhere.
Yeah, I'm from everywhere. You ever seen the movie Paid in Full when they ask Ken, where you from? He was like, I'm from everywhere. I'm from Switzerland, Harlem, New York, everywhere. I'm from everywhere. You know, I'm the same way. I'm from everywhere, man. We got love for every place we go. We step foot on. You know what I'm saying? We from everywhere. We show love wherever we go. You know.
How did you come up with this product, man, Spliff, man? Because I know we got to get Mav some. Man, when you coming back this way to Miami?
2 weeks I will be there.
So, yes. So tell us more about Spliff, man. So
the way Spliff came about, you know, I got to give a big shout out, you know, to my brother, Chris Smokes. Like, he was the one, you know, me and Chris Smokes, we, like when we with Khaled, like we're each other's smoking buddies because we smoke the same amount. Like we smoke a lot, both me and him. So you know what I'm saying. So every time, like I remember one time we were smoking backwards, and then he just came with a different vibe to smoke. He came in with papers and grab them. I've been known about it, but I never took the effort to do it. So he put me on to it. I'm like, yo, what happened to the woods? Because we would smoke woods. And he was like, man. Most was like, man, I don't know if I could do woods no more, man. I caught some, I seen some spider eggs on the woods. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, no, we can't do that no more then. And from there, we started smoking papers and grab them. But my thing is this, like, you see, like, when I do anything, I always, like, anything I do, anything I do. I always think about what I'm doing. So I was realizing I was going to a store to go buy papers, and sometimes when I go to the store to buy papers, I would have to go to another store to go find the grabber. So I'm like, why am I buying 2 products to make one? Why is there not a company that does this already? This shit doesn't make sense to me. So I'm like, I started putting 1 and 2 together. I'm like, there's no company in the world that does this? Well, guess what? If there isn't, there is one now. And that's how and that's how Spliffy came about, you know what I'm saying? So
that's awesome.
This is the only way I smoke, you know, because I was always trying to transition to go smoke papers, but I just can't get let go of the tobacco that easy, because that's when I started smoking. That's how I started smoking with tobacco. So to me, when you smoke weed without tobacco, it's different. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same high. It's just not. It's different. So I need to have the tobacco, and that's how the product came about. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chris Smokes for the inspiration and for putting me on to the vibe. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So my other thing that I wanted to discuss with you, man. What makes a good artist? And Mav, you can answer that question too, because I know
Great
both of you
question.
guys.
Man,
And be blunt, please. This is the Big Victory show. This is not the Big Lie. So don't put up this. So this.
That's that's $1 million question, because you know we're in an industry where it's saturated with artists, but you know where I feel artists fail is not understanding the business. You know what I'm saying? You know, at the end of the day, okay, yeah, your creativity is important, of course, and stuff like that. But you gotta understand there's a business side to the music industry, and if you don't understand the business side of it, you'll never become successful in it. You know what I'm saying? That's like a football player saying, oh well, you know, I don't got to be the fastest guy on the football field. I don't got to train, or I don't got to go to the gym to work out and train. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just go out on the field and do my thing. No, my brother, it's not how it's gonna work, because guess what? When if you're a running back and that linebacker sees you, he's gonna eat you up. Because guess what? He's been training every day, working hard on his craft. You just because you think you're a skilled player and you're good at the position, you don't have to. Nah, it don't work like you gotta build into it. Same way in the music industry, you gotta build. You gotta have a good team around you. You gotta have people that know how to guide you the right way. Know how to, when you drop a music video, they know where to place the music video so it could get views, and it could, you know what I'm saying, people could talk about you, and you gotta have you have to come with a strategy. You just can't come in this industry thinking, oh, I'm the hottest rapper. I could freestyle off the top of the dome for 10 minutes straight. Like nobody cares about that. It's like, if you don't understand the business, you're never gonna become successful. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel. Well, it's the difference between an artist that's gonna be successful and an artist that's not. You know what I'm saying?
Mav, your opinion. What you think?
100%. I was going to say something similar. I think in addition to that is also an artist, two things. An artist, number one, who's able to listen and take criticism and be able to take that criticism and apply it to themselves, and also an artist who knows how to pivot, because just because something worked yesterday doesn't mean it's going to work tomorrow.
Yeah, that's 100%. You're 100% right on that one.
So if I was an artist, knowing I can't rap for nothing, so I'm just if I was an artist,
Vic, you in the studio freestyling all the time. Stop it.
I'm even surprise you with this one. You don't even need to know how to rap or sing. You don't. If you're a person that knows how to be led by the people that know what they're doing, you could become a successful artist. I've seen artists that are not talented at all and they're successful. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they learn how to guide. They learn how to let themselves be guided in this industry, and that's all you really need. Like, everything now, technology has taken everything to a whole new other level. So you don't even gotta be the best artist in the world anymore. As long as if you could do something that people can work with, you could give people something to work with, they could turn you into a successful artist. Yep.
So in saying that, then I know you guys not marketers, but y'all been in business long enough. I went to the studio, make a track. What's the first thing? How to put it out? What's the best way y'all suggest that I would put a track out if I was an artist? What, in case somebody's listening here who actually cannot afford to get a marketer, can't afford to get a manager, what'd be your advice to them?
Flood the streets. That's what you got to do.
Go rid of marketing.
Flood the streets. It's 2022. Everybody's an artist, so you gotta beat the demand. Everybody's putting out music, so you just gotta flood the streets. If you ain't got a budget, you ain't got nothing. Like, let's say, to you don't have to go to a multi-million-dollar studio. You don't have to go to none of to facility. It's 2022. You could buy yourself an Apollo, buy yourself a mic, laptop, some speakers, buy yourself the chaotic ball, put it on your mic. You know, it sounds like you recorded in the booth. You'll need to know how to tweak the quality, because when you put the chaotic ball on the mic, it sounds a little bit like muffled, since since you have a foam all around the mic. So you just got to know how to tweak the EQ on it to make it sound good. But other than that, you don't really need, you know what I'm saying, just if you love being an artist, create, you know what I'm saying, put music out. It's too easy to do it nowadays. It's not like how it was in the 90s that you really had to go to a studio to record. You really had, you know what I'm saying, now anyone can have a studio. So to not be successful at this point in time in the music industry, if you're an artist, it's your fault. It's your fault, exactly.
100%.
Wherever or whenever, it's Big Victory.
Yeah, greetings. I'm Rohan Marley, and I'm going to be the first guy to really build an organic movement. Bam Effects.
We're back with the Big Victories Podcast. Here's your host, Big Vic, for real, with co-host Mev the Renegade.
Mev, I have a question for you then, because I know you do producing, both of y'all producing, both of y'all engineer. What would you say that, how do someone create a song, man? I mean, create a song. What is the structure of a song? The proper way to structure a song? Or are there any way to structure a song?
There's 100%. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. There's a blueprint on how you do it. You just got to know the blueprint and stick to it. So, when you got to know there's always a structure to a song. There's hooks, verses, you know what I'm saying, bridges. Normally hooks tend to be 8 to 12, you know what I'm saying, depending on the song. Verses, 12 to 16, you know what I'm saying, bridges 8 bars, so there's always a structure. As long as you follow the structure, and you know what I'm saying, you should be good. It's when you start doing crazy stuff and there's no structure to it, and you start listening to the song like, whoa,
what the heck is that?
What is this? You know what I'm saying? But
I got a question for both of y'all. Both of y'all can take your own time to answer it. So let's start with you first, man. How did you get into music?
Man, that's a crazy question. I was 12 years old, and my best friend at the time, his name was Kyle. I went over to his house. It was after church on a Sunday afternoon, and I heard like music coming out of his brother's bedroom, and I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" So I think we just come back from eating with his family. So I walked past his older brother's bedroom, and I looked inside, and he was on the computer, and I'm like seeing he's like on the keyboard, and like the music's starting and it's stopping. Then I'm hearing one sound from the music, then another sound. I'm like, what is he doing? He was like, "Yo, he's making beats." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, hold on. I said, "Bro, listen, I know you're my best friend, but I'm hanging out with your older brother today. I want to see what he's doing." I just sat and I watched him for like 3 hours straight, bro. He was on FL Studio 3.5, I'll never forget. And he was making beats, and I was taken back. I was just like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And I never looked back since that day.
That's dope.
That's dope story, man. I like that. What about your story, buddy?
I remember I forgot what class I was in. I was in some class. I think it was probably science. I was a junior in high school. Science, and I had this kid named Willie. He was from Liberty City. He was supposed to be in Jackson, but since he was bad over there, they sent him to where I was at. And my boy Young Doozy, at the time, he was we had class together with Willie. So they were freestyling, we were like, when I was in high school, we were the most popular kids in my high school. So whatever we did, we would set the trend in our high school. So my boy was like, they're telling me like, yo, you should freestyle, do that. I'm like, yo, man, I don't know if I could do all this. So they started freestyling and they started throwing shots at each other, freestyling. I started I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it too. And
That's in New York, right?
No, I was here. I was here.
Miami?
Yeah, Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, I finished high school in
Okay.
Miami. So I started freestyling too, and then from there, one thing led to another. We started a group, and you know, me and my cousin, we ended up putting some money together. Ended up getting a studio, and that's how we got involved in the music industry. You know, I went to SAE after that, and you know, from there, you know, interned at a Cool and Dre's, and from interning at Cool and Dre's, I'm where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, so then what makes a good producer engineer? Is it an ear? Or is it something you feel? Because I go in the studio with these guys and I'm just jumping around because I don't know. I'm a natural energized person. If I know you, like, you know how we cool, me, you, Mav, and Ayo, and Mike, you'll see the true side of me. People who don't know me think I'm just this prick. I am a prick sometimes, but you know what I mean? But I'm not. But I'm saying, what makes a good engineer and a producer?
Knowing sonics.
Knowing sonics.
That's it. If you know sonics, if you understand sonics, you good. You know what I'm saying? You'll be good in this industry.
What you say, man?
I agree with that. In addition to that, I think also realizing and knowing that you don't know everything and that you always have to stay willing to learn. Always got to be willing to learn,
yeah.
man.
Amen on that.
A man who know everything is the biggest fool.
Yeah, you right on that. You right on that.
Yeah. So then you would say, then I can't be a good engineer then. So that, okay, I got
stuck in your ways, bro.
I got to stick to the farm. So what I wanted to say about the Big Victory podcast, the reason that we started is Big AO, and the reason I wanted you to be one of the first guests, and of course I'm gonna let Mav speak his own truth. My thing is, like, I started in this industry a long time ago. No. I see so many people who didn't put the dues in, trying to get the dues out. And people these days call you hater when you tell them something is not working. I call that a truth teller. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have somebody come to me and be like, Vic, you worse at this, but I know a way that I can help you at least be a decent at this. Like, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a soccer player.
Really?
Yeah. But then I realized, damn, I hate running.
It's a lot of running.
I hate running. And I hate running. You know what I mean? And I wasn't good at soccer. So there's two things I could have done. I could have kept lying to myself. But one thing I did learn, though, is like, damn. So when I started playing football and I didn't make it where I wanted to make it, but I still loved that career feel of the NFL, being able to be involved in it. So I started me an agency. What we don't tell people is that you don't necessarily have to be with the person throwing the ball, catching the ball, or on the field to make just as much money as somebody else who's on the field.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? That's why I wanted to start the podcast, so we can tell people you don't have to be the one that makes it to actually be part of it to receive a plaque as well. As I'm looking plaque, I look back at Mav. He's not an artist. But why does he have all these plaques behind him?
Mm-hmm. He worked hard for it, you know what I'm saying? So he deserves it.
That's what I'm saying to you. There's part of the industry that you can be a manager. You can be a social media guy. There's so many career paths that I think you can choose. Everybody want to be the guy. The guy. To me, the guy is... The word "the guy" is so confusing. Like, right now, everybody how I ask, I say, who are the top engineer and producers in the game? And believe it or not because we close friends, your name always come up.
100%.
Your name always come up, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I
appreciate that.
They say it, and I'm sitting back and like, damn, you know what? I don't appreciate the guy enough. That's what came to me. Like, I look at the guy, like, not because I mistreat you, but I'm like, I built a relationship with you where it's that I look at the human side of you. In a way it's good, in a way it's bad. Because you know what? I can wake up one morning and give Mav a call when I normally do and say, Mav, you know what, man? I think you're a great guy, bro, but I think you're a hell of a producer. Or I can say, hey, well, man, you know what? Damn, bro. You doing your thing. But we as man don't do that because they make us look like what? Punks.
Mm-hmm.
Inferior.
Yep.
So that's why I wanted to break the thing when somebody see you or I see Mike and say, damn, Mike, the meal you cooked was great, Mike. Even though I don't like his ass, but you know what I mean? The meal was great. I'm going to still eat it.
Wait. Vic, Mike can cook?
Mike can cook. Mike is a chef, man.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He can't cook against me because, I know everything. I'm just joking.
Vic, you can't cook. Stop.
Damn, man. This is the truth teller. But now, I just wanted to just tell you, man, you know what? Mm-hmm. The level that you guys are on, and I'm honored, bro. I'm honored to call you guys a friend. I'm honored if I can pick up the phone and say, man, I'm starting a podcast, Ayo. Join my podcast, man. Come on board. Man, you co-host, man. And y'all didn't look at most people look at it's a start of business.
Yeah.
But people don't understand how Rockefeller started. Fubu started. Mm-hmm. Microsoft. If you don't start somewhere, you're working for somebody else. That's my motto. If you don't start somewhere, you're working for somebody else.
Please say that one more time.
If you don't start somewhere, that means you're working for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right.
So I just want to tell you guys, thank you for being great human beings. Because listen, I might be humble, but you know what? I feel like I'm somebody in life. Because my mom and dad had second grade education level from Haiti. You mean? That's not their fault. But damn it, in the beginning, I was going that path because I thought I was too smart. I knew everything. You know what changed my life? I remember I was like in the 8th grade. And my friend, I was doing some thug dizzle thing. Can't say it here because, I don't know. So,
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly I was doing something. And something happened to me. It wasn't the act that actually changed me. It's the fact that I knew I had to face my mom. This lady worked 3 jobs, man. And I got to go tell this lady I'm going to jail because this stupid shit I'm about to do. So when people say, what changed you? My mom changed me. You know what I mean? She changed me without even knowing she changed. She changed me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
they'll do it.
So
moms will do it.
I just want to tell you guys thank you. And this is the reason I started a podcast, to get great guys like you who has great career, who's doing great things in the world, to come back and give the listeners, y'all guys are human. Stop trying to force y'all to be somebody y'all not. They got Kanye to a point where he think he's an alien. Because nobody sat back and say, bro, I feel your pain. You lost your mom. Everybody want an autograph. Everybody want to do this. Everybody wants some money. Who's ever going to sit back and tell this guy, hey, man, I know you went through something. You're going through something.
No.
That's deep. That's deep. That's real, though. That's real.
That's the part of the short try act like I know something. I don't know shit.
That's real, though. You still cooking right now.
We'll be right back with the Big Victories Podcast.
Yeah, greetings. I'm Rohan Marley, and I'm going to be the first guy to really build an organic movement out of Jamaica. And that brought me to BAM Effects.
Preach.
But I just got to be real with everybody, you know what I'm saying? I can't lie to myself, you know what I'm saying? Because it's the truth, you know what I'm saying? I went through an experience when I was 18 years old where, I used to think how the young guys that you see on TV now, growing up, you know what I'm saying? You think you're on top, you think you're the toughest guy in the world until, you know what I'm saying, you get that life-changing experience. My life-changing experience came when I was 18, where, God confronted me. He's like, oh, okay, you're tough. You're a tough guy, huh? You think you're untouchable, huh? All right. How untouchable are you? There's always going to be some guy tougher than you, some guy that works harder than you. You know what I'm saying? God had to, really change my mentality because I used to think like these younger guys that, all they like to do is get into trouble and, you know what I'm saying? And through that life-changing experience is what helped me to realize, that's when God molded me to be who I am today, to work hard for what I want, to work hard for my purpose here on earth, you know what I'm saying? And I give my best effort in everything I do now. I never, when I was 15, 16 years old, I was thinking like a child. Now I think like a grown man. And now even more when I got a family, I got a wife, I got 3 girls. You know what I'm saying? I gotta set the example. Imagine I got girls, so I gotta really lead an example so that when they get older,
there's a lot of scumbags out here,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying, that they're not going after the dummies out here. You know what I'm saying? That have no future ahead of them. You know what I'm saying? Or don't have no aspirations in doing anything in life. So I just I try to make my life. I try to lead an example with my life, to others, and that's how I live it every day. And just like I said, the only thing I could do is just thank God every day for this opportunity that He's given me to be here in this platform with you guys. I remember seeing Reezy in the studio back in the days with Reezy, Mav, all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen them work. Like I remember, these are guys that I'm like, damn, these are the hottest producers. When I was, because I knew about them. What I'm saying? I'm like, damn, they work with all these great guys. This is my first time working with all these celebrities and seeing these producers, street runners, all of them. These are all people, when I was in high school listening to, they were all already making moves in the music industry. I've learned from all these guys. I learned from Mav. I learned from Reezy, street runners, Cool and Dre, Khaled.
People sleep on Cool and Dre, man. They put
100%.
Man, those guys. Let me tell you one thing about Cool and Dre. Them guys that they're one of the most realest people. One of the most realest people I've ever met in my life, man. These people gave me an opportunity that they didn't have to give me an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to. They opened their studio doors and gave me an opportunity to work with them. Again, they didn't have to. And they did it. And, there was things that happened within that situation that I've seen that I was like, wow. These guys were really they're amazing people, man. Amazing people. I've seen people try to shit on me. Mind you, I'm here interning, working at Cool and Dre's studio for free. I'm not getting paid $1. I'm interning. So, and they try to shit on me, and Dre and Cool would not allow anybody to do that to me. You know what I'm saying? It's things like that I'm like, bro, I appreciate those guys, man. The minute I get a chance to bless those guys the way I really want to, I'm definitely gonna do it because they more than deserve it, man. Those people are good people.
That's powerful, man.
You know what I'm saying? And they deserve every blessing coming to them, man. Those guys are good. Anybody says anything negative about them,
you know what's powerful about what you
I'll
do?
put my foot down for them.
You know what's powerful about what you just did right now? Everybody's your friend when they're in your face. Mind you, I tell you, everybody's your friend when they're in your face. What you can say behind their back, that's what make you two people friend. I'm like this. I'm going to call you a piece of shit in front of you. Because behind you, I'm going to say, man, he a piece of shit. But that but is he's a great guy. Because in reality, we all do things that upset people. I tell you, man, all day, man, will tell you, he'll tell you about me because he knows me. And Mike they'll tell you, if you don't know me, you think I'm the worst person in the world because I get agitated. And that was something I was born with, patience, lack of patience. I get agitated. But when you do get to know me, you be like, damn, man, is this shit real or he just putting on? You know what I mean? Yeah. When somebody can say, oh, you putting on, and deep down inside that's who you are, to me it's a compliment.
Yes.
Sometimes people get back with a compliment. They don't much know they're giving you a compliment.
No.
You know what I mean? So for you, what you say about Cool and Dre, because there's 50 other people that want to say some stupid shit. Let me give you an example. I had an old past name. Somebody was talking about this guy. The guy would happen to be me. They were talking bad about me, and he said he knew me. I'm looking at this guy. I never met this guy in my life. Wow. But for him to dirty something because he needed his stuff to get into the door, he had to use my name in a negative way. So figuring if somebody hear this, but what he didn't know, he told that to somebody that loved me. So all the time he's talking, my friend called me and like, man, where do you know this guy from? And I said, put him on video. And I said, who are you? Yeah, no, it's this guy there. I'm like, bro, that's me. Oh, no, wrong person. Nah, I ain't the wrong person. Nah. You got caught. Yeah. So for you to do that by Cool and Dre, man, I respect you even more, brother.
Yeah, those guys, man, I put my foot down. No one could ever say anything negative about them, about anybody that I got a good relationship with. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that. I don't allow people to talk negative about my friends, close.
Where can they find this spliff?
We got a website, the www.spliffypapers.com. You can reach out right now. We're working on the manufacturing. Pretty soon you're gonna see the product in every corner store and every gas station and every place you can purchase tobacco at. You will see the product there. So we're working on that. We locking in a deal in now so that people can get their hands easily on the product.
You know, I have something in mind down the line. I want to get done with you and Mav. I believe I took a lot from this world. I was trying to find a way to give back to the world. Might sound like a cliche, but it's just who I am. It's anybody who know me that talk like that all day and every day. I'm a walking quote. But what I'm saying is that I want to get to a point where y'all guys can create the next engineer, a good guy, not any scumbag. Somebody who we've seen who actually want this but don't know how to get the information. I want to start a program where I can help somebody understand music, bro.
No.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to need y'all guys' help eventually down the line where it benefits to you guys too as well. Because artists come and go, but a good engineer stay, a good producer lasts forever.
It's rare. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Forever. So that leads to this question now. If we tell my kids, what would you tell a 16-year-old you two, Mav?
What would I tell a 16-year-old me?
Yes.
Well, you know, because you got to understand the 16-year-old mentality. Like, when you talk like you trying to tell them something for their own good, they're not going to pay attention. Because when I was 16 and a grown man was to talk to me, I was looking at him like, man, what the fuck wrong with this old ass thing, man? You know what I'm saying? That's how I would look at it, just being real. You know what I'm saying? But if you tell a 16-year-old, all right, what is it that you like to do? What is it that when you wake up, you'll give your all to? Then that's when you tell them, you know, or if that's whatever it is that you will give your all to, make sure you give it your best. Like, make sure you go hard for that. Make sure nobody steers you away from your dreams, steers you away from what it is that you love to do. You know what I'm saying? And chase it and give it your all. Like, you're young, you know, you have all the time in the world. You know, you don't have so much responsibilities because 2 years later, guess what? The world starts falling on you. You turn 18.
That's why I asked you 16, because I wanted to actually adolescent.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you just tell a person, because you just tell a person, you know, and even with my daughters, I tell them, man, like, make sure whatever it is you do what you love to do. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, you gotta be a doctor, or don't let nobody tell you gotta be a lawyer. No, what is it that you love to do? Because look, my parents would tell me, oh, be a lawyer, or be the president of the United States of America, or you know, I remember I was gonna go to the army at one point. My parents were telling me to go to the army, and I'm like, you know, I just didn't want to do it. I loved music. Music is what drove me. You know what I'm saying? I remember when as soon as I graduated high school, I went to SAE and I asked them, "Oh, how does it work with the tuition?" My parents didn't want to help me with the student loan because at that time, you know, SAE was only doing student loans. They weren't doing financial aid like how they do it now. So, you know, I was like, man, and I was just, my daddy wanted to help me right away. But it took a couple years for him to be like, you know what? Come around. He was like, if this is what you want to do, I'll help you do what you want to do so you can stay out of trouble and, you know what I'm saying, focus on what it is that you love. The minute he gave me that opportunity and co-signed for me for the student loan, went to SAE, and I'm here now, you know what I'm saying? I gave it my best. I graduated, too, top 5 in my class.
Yes, sir.
Never in high school I ever graduated top 5 in class and anything. Like,
Don't tell me you were like me. You limped across the stage.
Oh no! Let me
limped
tell you,
across the stage, bro.
here's the thing about school. With me, when it comes to school, like, you know, there's things that they taught me in school that I'm still trying to figure out when do I put it to practice.
That's what was it?
You know
What's the math? What's the math they were trying to teach us, man?
Like,
I can't.
calculus, all that algebra. I don't use none of that. The most I use is decimals, and it's because I deal with music.
Yeah.
But I don't. You know what I'm saying? So I never, like, to me, I always saw school like just get by, graduate, just do what you got to do to pass and graduate. That's how I always viewed it. When I did something I truly loved, I graduated top 5 in my class because I loved it. That's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And
hey, I gotta outdo you. I graduated top 5 in the class too. It was like 6 people there, but I was top 5. That was farming. I went to farm class. Stop laughing, man.
I was about to say, you was top 5 worst students.
Hey, I was a bad student, bro. I was that one that. Listen, I went to Miami Edison. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
All right,
Edison,
and it was
Edison,
they used to pay me not to come to class. Like they used to give me donuts and stuff like that. But
I live by Edison. I used to live by Edison.
Man,
too.
listen, and I'm not saying this because it's a good thing. I'm saying it don't be like me.
And projects across the street.
The Edison projects.
Oh yeah.
Yo, it was to be 25-year-old grown men. I was 16 years old. Have to fight them. You gotta hang out and you gotta fight them. Or prove you're a man. How the hell, bro? You 20 years older than me.
Man,
what would you tell your 16-year-old self, man?
It's funny. It's so funny you asked that question because, not to nerd out, but I actually downloaded the same program that I was using when I was 16, 17, and 18.
Oh,
last
damn,
night,
bro. You can't get...
Right? So listen to this. 3 things. Number 1, stay true to yourself and always have fun. First thing. Always, when it comes to doing music, always have fun. Keep that first and foremost. Number 2, do it your way. Sometimes you can't take everybody's input. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can take it, but I can't adjust my trajectory based on everybody's input. I got to take it all, apply it to me, and move my own way.
Exactly.
Number 3,
Amen.
read the manual. Read the manual.
Yeah.
Don't think you're so smart or you're too good that you can't read the manual. I read the manual for that program that I downloaded last night. Man, I learned so much. I was like, wow.
You always learn something.
I knew
new.
that when I was 16.
Look, I call myself a Pro Tools guru. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I feel like I know Pro Tools so well. You know what I'm saying? But I always, to this day, there's little things that I'm like, damn, I didn't know you could do this shit in Pro Tools. I didn't know what? You could do that. You could do so it becomes easier to use the program the more you learn. So you always gotta have an open mind to learn. Like I always, every time, I'm the type of person that I help other engineers get gigs, get jobs and shit like that. So if I know there's a job available that I can't work, a session I can't work or whatever, I'll give it to another engineer, and they'll tell me. I always tell them when I'm in the studio with them, they be like, "Oh, I want to learn things from you." I'm like, "Nah, do things. Yeah, you could learn from me. Of course, I'll show you what you need. My template, whatever you need, you can have it. I don't have no problem with things like that. But I always tell people, work your way, because I might learn something from you that you do that I never knew you could do it that way, because someone taught you that.
Yep.
And that didn't teach me. So now I want to learn what you know. You know what I'm saying? And then we can learn from each other and make each other better. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mav, if you have a question you wanted to ask me, what would you ask me?
Ask you?
Yeah. Because I've been asking you a question all day.
For sure. One biggest thing I wanted to ask you, matter of fact, I'll save that for last. But as far as the podcast, we spoke about wanting to create and build this platform to where we can bring people on to share their stories, and I really just want you to also really quick and short, just to give a little bit about yourself and your story and your come up, being a young man from South Florida to where you are today.
Wow, you're making me think now. Well, it was easy. When I mean it was easy, it was not easy. Everything that's hard for me is easy because it gives me a challenge to try to. I'm a weird character. Like I said, my mom and dad are Haitian descent. They had had in our jobs. So I experienced a hard life at early age. My dad ended up striking and doing his thing, and good guy, but still was going back and forth. So I have a brother and 2 sisters. I'm oldest of 4 siblings, and I wasn't the best student because I had no supervision. When I came home, man, I had to figure what I was going to eat because my mom was at work. You know what I mean? And then my little brothers and them was doing their thing because they was younger. There's an age gap between me and them, so it was just I was forced to actually just be by myself, and they was getting catered to. So I learned to be a man at an early age, and I kind of went away and learned some stuff from my uncle. I have 17 uncles.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I have 17 uncles. My mom had 21 kids.
Wow.
That goes to show you feel me, like back in the days when if there was TV, you probably couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So, you ain't had nothing to do but figure it out.
So they figured it out.
They had 17 kids. They definitely figured it out.
I had 17 uncles. They had 21 kids.
21. Yeah.
And then my dad's mom had another 15 kids. Man. So I came from a family. So I was fighting since I was a kid. So I always had to protect myself. Like, what? I was I was the bully before the bully. So it's like my uncle, I had to slap him before he slapped me. And then I go back, I'm sorry, uncle. And I was older than him.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
But it got to a point, so I would start doing things. I did some things that, wasn't cultured. But one thing is I did things, but I was remorseful. Yeah. You know what I mean? I did it for me. I thought that was survival because the time I grew up in back then, either you was a thug, a drug dealer, a pimp, or you just going to get played. And your boy Vic was never going to get played.
Yes, sir.
So I joined the neighborhood activities, I'll call them.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So we started getting together. We became doers. And I did a lot of things. And I learned about the out-of-town game. Whoever understood, you understand. If you don't understand, you don't need to know because you don't want to know. You know what I mean? And I learned to be a tough guy. But that was the worst thing in my life. Let me tell you why. Because I started losing respect for people. I was sitting in the classroom when I was in. God blessed me. I got a scholarship to go Alabama. Then I got kicked out. Then I ended up at Alabama State. And I was staying in class with a book bag full of money. I was making more than the teachers. So what the hell are they going to tell me?
They can't tell you anything.
You know what I mean? So I got a bag full of bag and other activities in the bag. You know what I mean? And then whatever the teacher talking about, oh, you need to go ahead and learn your calculus. First lady, I can't even say calculus. Second lady, I got to go pick up this run.
Straight up.
And then I was going back and forth to Miami every weekend. You know what I mean? But what struck me is one of my best friends. I had a best friend, man. Grew up together, everything. He did something so foul to me till I lost trust in people. Y'all can imagine the foulest thing somebody can do to somebody else. Well, it has nothing to do with women. You know what I mean? It made me realize, bro, you got to grow God just gave you another chance. You know what I mean? God gave you a chance, so what you going to do with it? So I went back to school, really got educated, and I learned the ways, and it sounds weird. I know some people don't like it. I learned the ways of the proper. I can be this person today. I can be this person next day. But in between is me. It's always been me. But I just never knew how to control it. I mean, in a sense saying like I was smart, but I didn't know how to apply it to it. Because my mind is a clusterfuck up here. I want to do so many things till I didn't know what to do. So then I met someone. He was like, you know what? You're a dumbass. He told me straight up, you're a dumbass. And first thing I did, I had a gun. I was like, boy, I'm finna... but I thought he was like, but he was saying you're a dumbass in a way you were a smart ass, but you just was not using your smart. So what that mean? I love football, so I started my own company, and it was called V Sports Marketing Group. I threw some of the biggest events on South Beach before South Beach. Before everybody was doing anything in South Beach. I opened one of the biggest studios in Miami. I was one of the first guys who has a leave. I was one of the first. But in the end, it really didn't matter because none of it was my passion. So one day I met this guy. He taught me about agriculture, and now I sit on a board. I'm the executive vice president for Zero Gravity BAM Solution, where I'm the third black individual in the country who holds that position. It's a public trading company. You know what I mean? So I'm part of decision making, but at the same time, that doesn't make me. What makes me is able to sit down with my friends over here right now and say I'm gonna start a podcast. The same dumb kid Randall will tell you about who got kicked out of school, her uncle is. I'm that same story. But you'll never know it if you come to me sideways. Because what you're going to know is that guy that grew up when he had to be tough. When he had 17 uncles, all of them want to beat his ass. You know what I mean? But if you come to me on some regular shit and, hey, man, I want to learn, let's do something, be loyal to me. Now, I told you there's two things in life. There's two things in life you can offer anybody. Loyalty and honesty. I only lie to women. Y'all get this?
Thank you for being honest.
Yeah, I only lie to women. Back then, I only lied to women. If a dude tell you I lied to him, he's lying. Because either I think he's a bitch or I didn't lie to him. Because I thought back then I grew up in force like, women gonna lie to you, lie to them, get what you're gonna get, go. But I met somebody who actually made me start thinking differently. With that, Mav, you put me on the spot, but thank you. We're coming to the end of the show. Any last you want to say about what you got going on, AO, Mav? We be here next week again, but the floor is yours. We got 5 minutes. Take it up.
Just like, we got that. The one thing I could say is just we got that product I told you, Spliffy Pavers, man. Like if you into papers and grab papers and tobacco, you like to smoke you a spliff, man. I probably like to say we're the first company to ever exist in turning a product like that into a company. So, if you're into that and you don't want to go through a hard time rolling up in the club with grabber and papers and putting it together and
looking crazy in the club.
Looking crazy in the club. Guess what? It's called We Got a Solution for You. It's on the way. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I appreciate Vic for the opportunity, Mav for the opportunity, man. Like,
love,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always been love between all of us, you know what I'm saying? Mav, you always showed me love since day one. So I appreciate you, same Vic. You
gotta come back on the Big Victory Podcast, man. This ain't
we
last.
definitely gotta bring you back.
Always.
Because this Big Victory Podcast is not about anybody. It's about everybody who's doing something.
Always.
Mav, you gotta tell a story before you go. We got 3 minutes. Come on, pump it out, Mav. Stop trying to be shy back there.
Nah, you know what? It's funny. One thing I wanted to get to, because I believe in 6 degrees of separation. I got the Cadillac plaque behind me.
Yeah.
AO got the We the Best chain. I just got to get this.
I ain't gonna tell you his shorts, man. He got some badass shorts on right now.
He got the We the Best shorts.
He got
on too?
Dolce Gabbana's,
Okay. So like, all right, now AO1, question for you, bro. We both work with Khaled. Khaled's a movie in the studio. What is one piece of advice that Khaled has given you, or one thing that he said that has still stuck with you to this day?
I wouldn't necessarily say things he says. I would necessarily say the way he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man's very passionate about his work and what he does. And, I just feel like they don't give him enough respect for what he does, man. He's a genius himself, like, you know what I'm saying? The way he puts these records together, like, the man's a genius. Like, he's like, when it's all said and done, he's gonna be considered one of the greatest ever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, and I respect his hustle. I admire how hard he works and how hard he goes for what he loves, and that just it rubs off on me, because it makes me want to even go harder, because seeing the success that it brought him, just because he's given it his all to. You know what I'm saying? It just makes me do the same. So he's an inspiration to me. He's, you know what I'm saying? I admire his hard work. Like, you've been in the studio with him. You know what it's like. So it's the way he is, like for those that don't know him personally, the way he is, when you see him on social media, he's like that in real life.
That's really him.
Yeah, that's really him. So it's like you guys see like, oh, Khaled's just being a character. Nah, he's really like that. You know what I'm saying? So, big shout outs to Khaled and mad love to everybody in the We the Best family, man. So,
yes, sir.
We the best.
Yes,
man,
sir.
I appreciate you guys. We're going to do this again next week. Got some more guests coming. And if you want to find anything about Big Victory, you know what I mean, hit us up on IG. It's Big Vic, that FR. Mav, what's yours?
At MEV the Renegade, Mev the Renegade.
Ayo Juan. So it's Ayo with 2 O's at the end and Juan. So, that's me,
We out, man. There's nothing much to say.
Yeah,
Next week, be ready for more popcorn. We get it popping, man.
Big
We
victories.
Out. Big victories.
All right.
Wherever, whenever. Big victories, baby.
Push hard, big body, bimmer. Y'all them love me one fin me like then a big bulldog. 4-4 air trigger. Any boy this will get him head top. Lift up in the push hard, big body, bimmer. Y'all them love me one fin me like then a big bulldog. 4-4 air trigger. Any boy this will get him head top. Lift up in the